Oh, were you expecting someone else? Pastor Perkins, perhaps? Well, I'm not the man of the hour, but I've been waiting patiently to tell you all about him. Sit back, make yourself comfortable for this autastic tale of the man, the minister, the pastor, Gregory Perkins. Gregory Perkins was born on November 18, 1967 in Dallas, Texas at Parkland Hospital. Fun fact, that's the same place where President Kennedy was taken after he was shot. Now, there's no tragic endings here. Pastor Perkins was born the youngest of 9 children. The smallest, but he boasted a big opinion and wasn't afraid to let anyone know. Living on Tibet Street in San Diego, Pastor Perkins did not grow up interested in sports, but he loved books and learning. From ages 10 to 14, he worked a paper route from both the Lemon Grove Gazette and the San Diego Union Tribune. He made good money and graciously shared it with his mother. Raised in the church, he attended Grace Missionary Baptist Church with his mother, where he made a number of memories as part of the youth ministry. None more famous than the famous honey bun story. He walked to church alone, and with a hungry stomach and change in his pocket, a young Pastor Perkins made his way to a local liquor store to purchase a soda and a honey bun. Careful to not be seen waiting the aisles of the liquor store, he made his purchase and went along his way, finishing his treats on the way to church. Guilt of being in the environment would later overwhelm him as he cried out to profess his sin. A honey bun, in youth group that very day. Who knew such a thing so sweet could be so troublesome? You can't knock the conviction though. This is the hallmark of a man who took things he committed to seriously. Though still growing authentic faith in the Lord, he wanted to be right with God. He would go on to accept Christ in 1981. In his young life of faith, he would hold the offices of President of the Voice of Fulfillment Choir, President of the State and Local Baptist Convention Youth Department, First Vice President of the National Baptist Convention Youth Department, and President of the Youth Choir at his local church. He attended Morris High School in San Diego, having the protection of his eldest brothers in times of conflict while continuing his love for learning. In 1983, Pastor Perkins would preach his first trial sermon and would be ordained for ministry 6 years later at Friendship Missionary Baptist Church in Santa Barbara, California. He would go on to serve under Dr. H. Beecher Hicks at the Metropolitan Baptist Church before serving at New Shiloh under Dr. Harold Carter, where he served as a Saturday school director. He would go on to receive his bachelor's from the University of Maryland and his master's degree from Lincoln University in Pennsylvania. In his corporate career, Pastor Perkins would work in human resources for AARP and Price Waterhouse, going on to become both the youngest and the first African American vice president of the American Diabetes Foundation. In 1994, he would become father to his first and only son. He embraced the challenges and the joys of fatherhood while continuing to grow in his professional career. In his ministry career, he would go on to be a father and mentor of many, including myself. He's been a blessing, but it hasn't been without challenge. In 2008, he would enter his first bout with cancer, stage 2 lung cancer, which he overcame by the grace of God. 3 years later, he would battle stage 4 non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, overcoming once more. And in 2017, as a newly appointed interim pastor, while bringing TheView.Church through its most difficult season, Pastor Perkins battled ear, nose, and throat cancer, which he overcame, making him a 3-time cancer survivor, on the way to taking TheView.Church from a time of crisis to a time of rejoicing and growth as the lead pastor. This isn't even to mention his seminary classes and responsibilities. Whether it was school or reading on your own time, you have been steadfast to learning and growing in wisdom. Whether your own family or those you've impacted in ministry, you have been committed to leaving a legacy of excellence and holiness. And whether the battles with cancer or if the battles with ministry, you've been an example of faithfulness and overcoming. Pastor Perkins, this is your life, this is your legacy, and this is our thanks to you. Congratulations on 30 years in ministry.